Guten Tag, Herr Bart.
Guten Tag, Herr Smyers. I will continue in English because German is not my native
Oh,
language.
god dang.
Yeah, I'm Bart Tomblé. I'm BDM Fortinet at Exclusive Networks, and you are.
Jetse Smers. I'm pre-sales engineer for Fortinet at Exclusive Networks.
Why were we talking German?
Because we actually went together to the Accelerate 2025
Oh, yeah.
conference in Berlin,
Yes.
which was really nice. My first time.
Yeah, and you were there earlier than I was.
Yeah, that's true. Because I had the pleasure to join the pre-conference sessions where you could follow some official technical trainings of the FCP, FCSS, FCX curriculum.
Okay, what did you do?
Well, I went for my FCX course. It was difficult. I closed with the ending note and I still have a lot of work to do.
Okay, because I arrived at Tuesday, and then there were some people who had less work to do, I think, because they were participating in the Ultimate Fabric Challenge. And what I saw, it was a close match.
Yeah, it's amazing how good these people are with Fortinet configurations on all sorts of devices. They just know it by heart. And it was a really close call in the end, right?
Yeah, it was a very close match, and finally, I think there were three people who solved all the problems, and it was a Swiss guy who won, who was the fastest. So
Yeah.
congratulations.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, last year there were like a few Belgians participating. This year, this was not the case. so I
No,
hope
we
in
weren't
2026
represented. Yeah.
that we are present there with one or two Belgians. So
Yeah, fingers
that's
crossed.
Yeah, let's see so. And then afterwards there was this opening, how do you call it? Session, let's say, of Fortinet, and then we had our exclusive soiree with our partners at Tuesday evening until the late hours.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
Tuesday we had a brick start with a general session. And your first time, what did you think about it?
Well, it was really informative. It was also really cool that you see like the major directors within Fortinet, because actually we're almost always working closely together with Fortinet, the partners as well. So it's cool that you can meet the people who are representing the company.
Yeah, and Kang Xi was there also presenting. He's the founder of Fortinet, or one of together with his brother, founder of Fortinet. So that's really nice to see him, showing off his company.
Yes, indeed,
towards the
and
partners
also
and
to
customers.
get the message that the company wants to proceed in the market.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, some highlights that or some key takeaways that I have from the sessions is that, of course, they continue with their platform approach. They're showing that it's the right way. If you see the figures, if you see the momentum that Fortinet has in the market, the number of devices that they're shipping, things like that, and also with the additional focus, if you're in cybersec or in IT in general, you need to do something with AI. So that's also included in their solutions. I think we had a rather great demo where last year in Accelerate we saw some
Robert
AI
May,
demos on SIEM and SOAR. You now saw it on Manager, I think.
Yeah, indeed. So they managed to automatically configure some devices with FortiAI through the FortiManager, which shows that they clearly want to walk the path of artificial intelligence and including them into their products. Yeah. So that was really cool.
On the other side, they stick with their, of course, also as a service, and they're providing a lot of solutions as a service. That's also something, a market trend, let's say. We also see that with security, and security coming more and more into the cloud, and they have their SASE platform, which they announced also, sovereign SASE. I think we're going to have some articles about that one also in the blog post. So yeah, that was interesting to see, and then they continue also with the OT and all their networking, secure networking, I should say, and security operations, automatizations, optimizations, and they're really pushing forward on.
Yeah, that's true. This actually standed out with me as well when you followed some specific sessions after the opening keynotes, etc., about technologies that they really proceed in. This fabric approach, and also sometimes combining different products together to make them stronger, to tie them even more together. For example, this was really highlighted for me in the FortiAnalyzer, where they continued on integrating with not only the different technologies pillars, I would say, like OT. They introduce new dashboards, etc. But as well by integrating with third-party solutions, because their vision is really clear. They want to have one platform where you can monitor and manage your complete security stack.
Yeah. And also, I was now thinking about it. They also showed a little more about the new name. It's not only a name; it's actually Forti Endpoint, in which they are going to combine the Forti client with some new features, and also the Forti EDR, which is more and more getting integrated. And then you see also with their EMS and the endpoint management system, where there are some new fabric connectors, for example, for the Deceptor, where you see really the clicking in of several products and making them more powerful in combining them in the fabric approach. And then so after this general session and the specific sessions we followed, I think on Wednesday, there was more of that on the second day, on Thursday. There was also the possibility to do some exams, I think, and we should mention that, because it's also something I want to position towards our partners so that they know. So you did it, and you passed.
I passed my OT exam. So it's actually really cool, because you can immediately turn your knowledge into practice from the pre-conference sessions. And also, for example, what stood out to me is there are a lot of very skilled engineers which are behind the booths. So if you talk to them, this is also where you can translate this knowledge into an exam that you want to proceed, for example, in your job, in your company. So really cool to actually also being able to meet the engineers and the brains behind the products.
Yeah, it was really nice. So between the sessions you had this forum where there were a lot of booths. Exclusive had a booth over there, but some of the solutions also had their proper booth, where you could really talk to the product owners, solution owners, to go more into depth into their product. And one of the products I really want to know more about is for example, is a FortiPAM solution. Yeah, then you can go to the FortiPAM booth and go really into depth with the guys that are
and also to see, for example, new enhancements to the solutions, or actually what I saw for the first time was sovereign SASE. I never had it seen before, but there they had a pot on their booth which actually showed what it was behind the scenes, how it worked, etc., and how you could deploy it as a partner as well.
Really cool.
So really cool things. So I think the sessions and the booths, they really make difference in terms of the people that you are able to meet, for me, I think.
I agree. And then of course at the end there was a closing party offered by Fortinet with some reception and some finger food and drinks. And it was a silent disco, everybody with headphones on.
It was fun. They had some great ideas.
And that wraps it up. We are trying now to position the highlights that we saw in some articles. So we hope that this video will give you some eager to go and read them.
Yeah, indeed. And then you can see what stood out for us, and what we actually think is really valuable for you to know from Accelerate 2025.
And hopefully you will be there in 2026, and we as well. Because the spaces are limited, and so there's always a little bit of a fight for people to get there. So
yeah.
See you there.
See you next year. Bye-bye.
Bye.